Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Broverwatch podcast. My name is Adam Cook, and as always, I am here joined by Calder Amos Wood. Hello, Calder.
Hello!
What a great intro that was. Also, I forgot to mention...
High on life.
I forgot to mention, this is the Broverwatch podcast, the number one Overwatch League podcast for filthy casuals.
You know what FouseyTube says? You manifest that energy, boyo. You manifest good things to happen. He manifests Drake to go to his concert.
And then Drake legitimately said, I don't know who that is. He actually responded and said, I do not know who that is. And
Did
that
you see
makes
some
me
of the
happy.
clips from that
He's
podcast?
going crazy.
I know.
He leaned into Sam. I know this is an Overwatch League. We're gonna wrap this up real quick.
I know.
But he leaned into Sam Pepper and was like, "You gotta stop getting mad at me for spreading positivity." And then
And then he's like, I'm an alpha, you're a beta.
yeah, and it's like, stop getting mad at me for spreading positivity, you bitch. And it's like,
My
maybe you
favorite
should
part
calm
was
down.
just Shane Dawson's reactions when Fousey was talking. He's just like, okay.
It's because he's crazy.
He's a crazy person.
I forget whose video it was. But someone was like,
podcast?
no,
Oh.
but someone was talking about, talking about FouseyTube and was like, you legitimately need help, and no one in your life is helping you. You need help.
Was it? Yeah.
I
I've
forget
only
who it was.
listened to the H3 podcast on it, and I think it was the Philly D.
I haven't listened to the
Yeah.
H3 one
Anyway,
yet. Anyway,
Overwatch.
this is an Overwatch League podcast,
You're
and
not a FouseyTube podcast.
and this
Which
past week we had the semifinals. We're one step closer to the finals. The finals are this upcoming week, and you're gonna come hang out, and we're gonna watch it together live.
Yep.
We're not gonna live stream it though. I was thinking about it today. There's no way that's gonna happen
Yeah. It's just
because also no one's gonna watch that.
Yeah.
So we'll just watch it and then we'll talk about it. But we had the semifinals. That was the LA Valiant facing up against the London Spitfire and the New York Excelsior facing up against the Philadelphia Fusion. Things did not quite go as expected. We'll say that much.
Mm-hmm. We'll get into the games later in the show.
We'll get into the games later in the show. First, we got a little bit of news. The top three we'll talk about when we talk about the games.
Okay.
We organized this podcast very well. Just wanted to let you know that. The first thing we're going to talk about, there was a huge patch released. I think it's on the PTR right now. I don't think it's live. But they didn't even give us any warning. They weren't like, hey, this is coming, by the way. They were just like, hey, check out this balance. It is a huge, massive... it has other characters involved and other bug fixes, but for the most part, it is a support hero patch, which was much needed because the support heroes are kind of the most, I don't want to say broken thing in the game.
They're inconsistent.
Yeah. Yes, they are quite inconsistent.
Mm-hmm. I'd like us to get a new healer soon.
Well, this isn't in our news stories because it's not quite news yet, because it's just rumors. But apparently, I didn't read the thread fully because we were about to record, but apparently Jeff Goodman teased Hero 29, and people think it might be another tank, but a main tank. Because Hammond's another off tank. So we have 4 off tanks, 3 main tanks.
I'm excited to have another off tank. I can't wait for tomorrow.
We'll get into that in a second. So here it is. Here are the patch notes. We'll just focus on the support stuff because the other stuff is not as huge. Ana,
Huge.
Nano Boost will additionally heal the target for 300 HP. That is massive. Because Ana, not really viable right now. And Nano Boost is okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not good enough to.
But like if you nano boost a Rhine, here's my. It says HP, so if he has full health, I don't think it's gonna like add armor or anything. That would be a little too much, probably.
What if he? It might be that they'd like take damage and then it heals back up to their full health.
I doubt it. I think I think it's just so that
If someone's,
essentially
like, half down,
it's
they go
essentially they have full health when they're nano boosted, unless the Ana makes a really dumb mistake and nano boosts a 1 health Rhine.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think it's just to make sure that, because right now you could nano boost a Rhine or something and he'll be like half health, and then the other Rhine will just go and then he's already almost dead.
Yeah.
Which is a little ridiculous. So this is huge. I think that should work. I don't think they'll need to like change much after that.
No.
Because it'll make Ana viable, but not overpowered, in my opinion.
Yes, mine too.
Here's a big boy one. Shield Bash cooldown increased from 6 seconds to 7 seconds. Big. So gross.
I know, I'm so sorry.
But
I had craft dinner.
Shield Bash, gross. I had pizza. Shield Bash is a little too much.
I haven't been hating it recently, but I could see like higher up level players than me hating it.
People are getting used to working around it, but it's still incredibly frustrating when you get shield bashed by her, whacked, and you're like you've been working hard to stay alive, and then you're like, dude, I almost killed her, and then she just goes shield bash again, and it's like, it's a little much. So I think that's good. I don't think that'll be the end of tweaking Brigitte. I think there's other things they need to tweak, but that is a very good start. Lucio. Hugo Mungo Boingo buff. Sound barrier effect increased 50% from 500 shields to 750 shields.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Big jump. Yeah.
That's
very big.
That's adding half.
Yep, that's what 50% is.
I forgot that I read 50%. But that's a huge jump, dude. Yeah, 50% is a big jump. That's huge because I feel like
weird. I didn't think the problem with it was the shields going down too quickly. I just thought it ran out too soon.
Yeah.
So I guess this will make it last longer too, maybe?
Well, yeah, because they're not saying anything about it depleting faster. So I think it'll deplete the same speed, but you get more, so it's essentially depleting slower. It's just the initial the initial bang is more. So I think this is more supposed to help with if your entire team is dying, then it's like,
and then
no, you're not.
Suck it, boys.
Yeah.
And then his crossfade aura radius increased 20%. So when you're playing your little tunes there, you'll get more people. Yeah. Which is kind of... I'm not sure how big of a change that'll be, but it's more of a quality.
It seems like it's not that big of a deal, but like a full extra 2 meters is quite a bit.
I'd have to know what that is in relation to the game.
Well, the thing is, I was just thinking about it, and it was like, oh, so if this is the edge... Here, I'll use this bowl, this empty bowl... If this is, and it's green too, if this is the edge, you look at it and it's like, oh, but it'll go out to here now. That's not much. But if you think about it, it's going out to here all the way around.
Yeah.
So it's like... You know what I mean? It's quite an increase. Yeah. Like, our friend Matt plays Lucio a lot, and he was talking about it, and he's like, now... I can just, like, jump around the point doing nothing, which is how I like to play Lucio, and I'll also be doing my job. Because I don't even have to think about people being near me because it's a bigger radius. And I'm like, nah, not really how it works, but, you know, whatever makes you sleep at night. Mercy change. This is a big one for Calder because Calder's the best Mercy in the game.
Oh, it's actually a fact, so I'm surprised. You knew
Uh,
that because you usually don't get facts right.
Primary fire healing beam reduced 17%. So that instead of 60 health points per second, it is 50 health points per second. That's actually quite significant,
Mm-hmm.
but I also think that's good because they're never going to take res away.
No.
So that, and they can't really
And
do
it's,
unless
and
they
res
want to
is
make
really,
a 7-second animation for the res where it's like, you are coming back to life now,
yeah.
and then it's there. Unless they're gonna do that, which that would ruin the game.
Mhm.
They can't really do anything to that. So affecting the healing's pretty good.
And the res doesn't seem too overpowered now because
No.
you do it once every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is basically once a team fight.
And it's not even once every 30 seconds. It's like it's less
Yeah.
often than that because sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is good. I wouldn't be this is a good step in the right direction. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the future they also somewhat affect her damage boost. And like, I don't know if her damage boost is the same as Arisa's damage boost for her
I think it's
ult,
a little less.
but I wouldn't be surprised if they did a little bit less with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no Zen changes in this. And people were talking about how Zen and Mercy are overpowered because they can both heal and increase damage.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that changed. Or maybe they do it where they affect Mercy's healing and they affect Zen's damage boosting ability. So it's like, ooh, which one are you gonna choose? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a good change.
We'll see what happens. And then Moira, they increased her healing resource base regen rate by 20%. So I guess when you're not sucking the life out of people from across the map, your healing's going to regen 20% faster.
Yeah.
Which is good, I guess, because
I find I don't play Moira, but when I do, I find 90% of the time I'm like, oh, I've got no healing left.
yeah. So this will be good.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll help people realize that she's not a DPS character.
Yeah. It's not going to help.
No.
The only thing that would help that is if there was literally every time you damaged an enemy, a big alert came on screen saying, you're also a healer.
Yeah.
But that's not going to
Anytime you were just holding down right click for 15 minutes while your team was losing.
There's been so many times where I'll get killed by a Moira and I'm like, where was she? And it'll literally be her walking out like this,
Yeah.
ready to suck someone, and they turn the corner and go, oh,
There you go.
there you go.
And she throws a little ball and her ball slows down right inside of you.
Sometimes you'll walk around a corner and there's a tiny little ball that's almost gone, but it's just enough to suck you.
Yeah.
Let's just see if there's any other big... No. There were some other changes, very small changes, but this is all just the support heroes, and that's what's really important at the moment because the support heroes are a big topic.
Yeah. Next story.
Now, you slightly mentioned this,
Yes.
but now we're gonna really highlight it.
Daddy gets to play a new hero.
Calder's new main...
Wrecking Ball.
Don't call him that. I think even the Reddit post that was like highlighting this
It
link,
says like Hammond.
it's like Hammond is coming, and it's like no one is gonna call him Wrecking Ball. But Wrecking Ball is rolling into the fight tomorrow.
And it also looks like the Summer Games is rolling into the fight too.
Yeah. I
With
don't
the
think that'll
background
be
game.
tomorrow. I don't think he'll roll
No.
into the fight, or he will roll
I feel
into
like
the fight
they'd-
tomorrow.
Yeah, but I feel like they'd advertise Summer Games a little more than.
Yeah. Usually they do it end of July, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's next Tuesday. Or early August, so like first week of
I mean,
August.
it is end of July.
Although there is also a possibility that they're just not doing summer games and they were like, this looks nice. I doubt it's that,
Yeah.
but I think someone even said in the comments, or in the, Stylosa actually replied to the tweet saying, Summer Games 2018 confirmed to also include Small Space Hamster confirmed. And then Overwatch replied saying, "Oh dear." So take that as you will. Anyway, I am excited to see how Hammond affects things.
I just want another off tank to play because you can't really play Hog all the time. You can't really play.
Diva.
I mean, you can play Diva all the time, but it's kind of boring if you play her all the time.
Yeah.
And what's the other off tank? Oh, Zarya. I'm just not good at Zarya.
Here's the thing. Hog and Zarya are not mobile. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want to be limping around the whole time, you have to play Diva, and playing nothing but Diva can get boring, so I'm happy Wrecking Ball's coming. Yeah. I just called him Wrecking Ball. No, they're getting me. I'm glad Hammond is coming to the game. Did you hear their response when people said, "Why aren't you just calling him Hammond?"
What was it?
They had like a live stream where they were talking about him. It was actually a cool live stream where they just talked about like his backstory, stuff like that. I just got a message from Jaden asking if I wanted to come on. I'll respond to that in a second. But pretty much someone was like, when everyone else is wanting to call him Hammond, why are you guys still sticking a Wrecking Ball? And they were like, well, it's actually kind of a character thing. You see, Hammond was the name given to him by the scientists, but when he came to Earth and went to Junkertown, he was able to he named himself Wrecking Ball. And it's like everybody gets named their name by someone else.
Yeah.
I was named Adam by my parents.
I was named Norman Calder Wood
by your parents, right?
You're named Adam Cock by your parents.
Well, Cook. So that's what's. But
Adam John Cock.
So I think that's a stupid answer. I just think they freaking call him Hammond.
Picked that name. I think they picked that name, and then people were like, "This is fucking dumb," and they're like, "We can't give in."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. No one's gonna be like, "Guys, watch out! There's a Wrecking Ball on the high ground." It's gonna be like Hamster.
Have you seen those videos of the people like swinging around doing the super monkey ball things? I find it so like satisfying.
Yeah.
Because they just find the smallest holes for them to fit through on the maps.
Yeah. I'm excited for this because I'll admit Overwatch can tend to get stale once in a while, and I think it hit a real stale bit I'd say 2 months ago, where it was like, this game, man. It was like right as I think it was when Brigitte got into competitive and was like in for a couple weeks. It was like, come on, man. But then Symmetra's teleporter
rework happened.
That and Wrecking Ball are gonna change it up so much because Overwatch is very much you choose a meta, then you choose a comp, that according to the meta, and you stick to that, and you use that strategy to go and get the thing. But now there's a ball rolling around.
Did you hear about Torb's rework too?
Yeah, where he can throw a turret. And it's immediately level 2. Yeah. So he can just throw it behind enemy lines.
What I don't understand is why even have a level 1 at that point?
Yeah, no.
But I'm excited for that because I just find there's some characters that you just don't play because there's no use in playing them.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to meme on someone.
Yeah. So. Well, that was Symmetra before. You never played Symmetra unless you were memeing, and now that's Torb.
Next story.
One sec. Recording. You talk about Hammond more. Talk about what you're excited to play about.
I just want another fast tank because every tank is so goddamn slow.
It is.
Besides Diva, they're all so slow.
Arisa is also slow. Ryan's slow, but he's got a charge, and then
but he's also a melee character. And then what's the other one? Winston's
sort
of slow.
That's why I like playing him because you can actually get around.
But I just find Winston's gun kind of annoying. You don't really damage anyone; you just kind of tickle them.
Well, that's why you gotta go after the squishies. Also, that's why you gotta utilize your shield. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna tickle you, and they're like, well, I'll just kill you. And then you're like, no, you can't because I got a shield down. You know what I mean? It's all about that smarts.
Street smarts.
Street smarts. Now here's one that Calder doesn't want to talk about.
Well, because I don't know anything about it because I didn't read the article because I'm lazy.
I didn't read the article either, but we're just going to talk about what it kind of means. Giguri and Jake to take part in the Olympic Esports Summit. So apparently the esports organization, I think that's what they're called, International Esports Company, maybe. I don't know what they're called. But pretty much they're doing a roundtable in which Olympians and professional esports players will discuss what defines an athlete, the training routines, the traditional athletes and esports players, or the routines of traditional athletes and esports players, what challenges athletes and players face, and how they view health and wellness, and more. I'd love to listen in on that and have some like runner from Uruguay be like, video games aren't sports, and then Jake be like, well, actually, if you think about it, and then Giguri go, I'm a frog, I am kill, or something like that.
I am car.
But
Also,
I did hear that
not very many Uruguayan runners.
Yeah, I know. But I did hear somewhere that like Jake is gonna be like at the round table, but Giguri's just gonna be there as like a representative, but Jake's actually gonna be the one on the table like talking.
You think Ninja will be there?
I don't know.
What is that thing that meme about him?
Oh, Ligma.
Yeah.
Ligma
balls.
He got so mad about that. That's funny. Let's try not to sidetrack.
Sorry.
Son.
Sorry, I'm autistic. I can't say that. I'm sorry. Cut it out.
Can't cut. Do you really think I'm going to go back and edit an hour podcast, take out a 2-second clip, and then render it for an hour and a half?
I think if you liked your friend, you would.
Nope, not going to happen. Calder didn't mean what he said. There you go. Fixed. So yeah, apparently they're not like trying to get esports into the Olympics or anything. They're just trying to like
just
spread awareness of what spread awareness of what esports is, gain a little respect for esports.
Yeah.
Help people understand that it's not just a bunch of guys going, "Hey, you wanna come to my LAN party?"
LAN me. 1v1 me.
And people talk crap on Jake all the time, but like he's the perfect person for this.
He's the perfect representative for the Overwatch League.
Honestly,
and
maybe
hot.
Maybe even for
Megan
esports.
Kelly wants
I
him.
knew you were going to mention Megan Kelly. I'm not actually going to...
That's one of the underrated memes of this entire season.
Yeah, I know, it really
Megan
is.
Kelly going, oh, I bet you got a lot of girlfriends. To a young boy.
Yeah. He's like, what, 19, 20?
Yeah, maybe 21.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just sipping a couple Alky Pops, if you know what I'm saying.
So I'm not going to read that article because I don't know. That's all you really need to know. Giguri and Jake are going to go talk to the Olympics people and pretty much help them understand more of what esports is. Now, here's the most important news story. You talk about
my personal favorite of the week. Ben Spunt.
Spoont.
I'm going to say Spunt.
Or Spoonty.
Owner of the Florida Mayhem. Historically one of the worst jerseys in the Overwatch League.
Looks bad. Looks boring.
Overwatch. Sports. The world.
I don't know. San Francisco Shock has a pretty bad logo.
Oh, fuck.
I'm kidding. It grew on me. When I realized that it was the Golden Gate Bridge and sound waves, I was like, okay, it's not bad.
Yeah. He said, are you more of a yellow and red person or aqua and pink person? And I'm not sure if you can see this.
You can.
But very, very lopsided answers are aqua and pink. Which makes me happy because I like every aqua and pink Florida jersey. I should probably have sent you a couple before this.
No, I think we've shown them on the podcast before.
Oh, I guess we did show the Florida Mayhem aqua and pink jerseys.
Here.
I was just thinking like the Florida
Let me just
Marlins,
do a quick search. Oh.
Miami Vice jerseys or something. But those are the perfect colors for Florida because of Miami Vice. And, they just fuck around in Florida. Like, it's not a real place, I don't think.
It's a real place. It's just it's not.
But it's not like a real place.
It's not very real. You know what I mean?
Like, that's the place where, like, people eat each other's faces, but you can also get, like, your cake baked by a racist, There's so many things you can do. Did you find a jersey?
I found a couple. These aren't official. These were mock-ups.
When people were like, "Oh wow, this is the worst. This is the worst one."
So like the kind of like teal and pink or aqua and pink, maybe some white. So throw some black in there. This looks like garbage. This one. Don't know what they were thinking. This doesn't look bad though.
When do I get my sick ass Lucio emote? Tomorrow?
I don't know, maybe. But yeah, all these pictures don't have anything to do with it anymore. But yeah, just this is a lot better than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can just see it in my mind's eye.
So that's exciting. I'm pretty sure that they're going to change it. I'm pretty sure every Overwatch League team is changing their jerseys.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're doing a full overhaul to make teams more, like, unique.
Yeah.
Because they're all the same jersey with different logos.
Yeah. They do that with sports teams all the time. Like, they change their logos all the time. Well, not change their logos, but change their jersey styles all the time.
Yeah.
Like, the NBA is going into this, like, font across the chest instead of the classic logo on the chest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should have got that $30 Shock jersey.
You really should have. It's only $30.
Yeah, but I just don't have that kind of money, honestly. You take all the money from this podcast.
You were thinking... we don't make money. You were thinking of getting one when it was $60.
Yeah, but that's when I had money.
What have you spent it on since then?
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I bought every piece of merch that you possibly can. I bought an oil painting of that Brontosaurus dying on the pier.
Wait,
My
is that
cried.
Dude, did you just spoil the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
Oh, that a freaking dinosaur dies in the movie where they advertise dinosaurs dying? Yeah.
I wasn't going to see it. Sorry if you really
that
wanted
movie
to see Jurassic
was just good enough.
Anybody who is going to be angry about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom spoilers has seen it already.
3 weeks after it came out.
Has seen it already. They saw it opening day.
Yeah.
I can guarantee every single person who would get angry about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom spoilers saw it opening day.
After the movie, I tweet. Did you see it?
No.
I don't know if I want to. Should I? In the movie, this fucking girl, at the end, they're like, whoa, she's a... I don't even know what she is. But I guess they say she's a clone. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just...
Okay, we're going to move on to games.
I just don't get it.
This is what happened this week. This column here. Sorry, I need to drink some water.
You do the Kiki Do You Love Me challenge or whatever it's called. Hop out of that mom van you got there.
What happened first? On Wednesday, London faced off against the LA Valiant.
True fact.
And New York faced off against the Philly Fusion. Let's look at both games first.
Simultaneously.
I apologize for white screen. Oh, also it's free. It's a free weekend this. Oh, it's over.
Oh, for Overwatch. Oh. We're doing a great job.
So, this is the London Spitfire LA Valiant game that happened on Wednesday.
There you go.
Everybody, Everybody predicted Valiant. Because they were pretty dominant in stage 4.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's saying maybe London just got lucky. Or not lucky,
Against
but
the
maybe it was
Glass.
just like a...
Off week for the Gladiators, off day for the Gladiators.
Or something. But London
Doesn't seem like
Spitfire
it.
didn't crush, but did very well. They looked very strong.
Mhm.
And London just looked like they were losing energy.
Valiant.
Yeah. What did I say?
London looked like they were losing energy.
Yeah, I meant LA Valiant. But Hanamura was kind of a rough one. They both just got held on.
Kings Road's kind of rough.
Kings Row was rough, but
somehow London just managed to pull this out in a
London
5-minute
clutched it out.
thriller.
So after this, everyone was like, wow, maybe London didn't just get lucky, and maybe they're actually really good. And then
yes, they're probably very good. That would be the answer that I'd give you.
And after this happened, Custa went on his stream and was like, to everybody saying that all of a sudden London has one good game against us, that they're way better than us and they're gonna sweep us. No, they just had one good day. That doesn't mean we're out of it. And then, as we learned later,
I beg to differ, Custa.
But I do agree with what he said. Just because someone won, like a team won one game, doesn't mean the other team is out of it. And then the same day, the Philadelphia Fusion faced off against the NYXL. First time we're seeing the NYXL in a while. Expecting big things.
It felt like a month. Was it a month?
We had a 2-week break.
It felt so much longer.
It felt so long. And they didn't hype up the playoffs at all. They need to work on that. But everyone was expecting, okay, New York sandbagged hard in stage 4.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Here's the thing, though. Were they really sandbagging?
I think they were.
Or were they just not doing well? There were a couple plays where you're like, oh, that's not good.
I don't think they sandbagged 100% of stage 4. Like, I think there were some times where they just did bad and they were like, sandbagging. But, like, I think they were legitimately sandbagging for a lot of the game, a lot of stage 4. Like, Wizard Hyung, their coach, even said, I don't really care about stage 4, honestly.
I don't get that. Because then you have things that happen like this.
Well,
where you lose 3-0 on the first day.
I think I mentioned the possibility. I might not have. But, like, I've been thinking since they started sandbagging, I was like, I see what they're doing. They're saying, let's not give away strats that we're going to use in playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Smart. Until you realize these players aren't used to legitimately trying in, like, a month and a half.
Yeah.
And not only that, but they were sandbagging in a different meta. They should have predicted that the meta would change. So now they haven't had much practice in this meta. And there's more pressure now because everyone was saying they were sandbagging before, they better be good now. Did you just kiss your bicep?
No, I burped. I just didn't want the beautiful people at home to hear it.
It looked like you kissed your bicep. It was very strange. Anyway, so it turns out that did happen. They just they looked very bad this game.
They looked terrible.
In the second game from this week, they didn't look as bad, but in this game they looked very bad.
Let's move on to Saturday.
You
keep tickling around the action. This is when the action started, okay?
No, wait, not Saturday. We got to go to Friday with the LA Valiant London game.
This is when the action started.
LA Valiant faced London on Friday first.
Got fucked.
Man, was it ever a crush. LA looked bad.
Terrible.
Very bad.
I watched this before we recorded because I had a busy weekend, you know.
You know.
With a girlfriend.
You know. I know
You
what
know.
that's like. I know what it's like to
Don't-
have love.
Don't lie to her.
I know
Don't
what
lie
it's
to her.
like for someone to spend time with me, valued time.
Why you have to ruin?
Sorry to make this sad. Continue. I'm not
It's
actually
funny.
sad. I'm making memers.
Yeah, the Valiant sucked, honestly. Or London was just really good.
London was
But
just very good.
It was like if you put a little mouse on a scale, and then you dropped an elephant on a scale, and then the mouse just went woo flying, and then just flew down and died. That's what it was like watching the Valiant.
I'm going to show you a level of skill. Do you see this light switch? That is the Valiant's level of skill in this game. Do you see this poster? That's London's level of skill in this game. What a great analogy. I didn't have anything prepared when I started talking.
Why'd you start talking?
London looks great, and they looked so happy. They looked so happy. And it's
Well,
funny.
after that,
It's funny because when talking about the gladiators, all the analysts and casters and like everybody was like, they lost, or no. Sorry, the gladiators said that they had to swap out Fissure because they couldn't have an aggressive main tank in this meta. And then Jester just popped off in this match. Like, he was nuts. He was an aggressive main tank in this meta. And it's like, that just adds to the fact that clearly something else was going on. Which, I guess we didn't really touch on this, but, like, it's becoming more and more clear that something happened.
Yeah.
And that, like, Fissure
I wouldn't
wants
be
to go to
surprised
Seoul.
if Fissure switched. I wouldn't be surprised if he switched teams.
I
Let's
think
just say
he's
that.
going to switch teams. And he's not going to go to London because London has a great roster. And he's not going to...
I mean, why would he go back either?
Exactly. And he's not going to go to New York because, like...
Because they don't need him.
They don't need him, and the Korean World Cup roster is all just NYXL players, so they're not going to use him because they've already got great main tanks too. So he'll probably go to Seoul, or if there's a Korean expansion team, then he'll go to them. I don't think he's going to go...
Shanghai.
No. Because I'm pretty sure they're going full Chinese roster.
Getting rid of Giguri?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Giguri... Oh, dude. Imagine a Giguri Fissure tank line team on friggin' Seoul. That would be insane, my dude. But, or an expansion team. But I don't think Fissure will ever go back to a team that's not fully Korean.
I don't think his shield's up next season, you know.
Yeah. Although, I'm still a Surefour fan.
Yeah, well, you gotta...
And a
root for the
Bishu
Canadian
fan.
boys. Anyway. Let's talk about how garbage London is. Or not London, shit. New York is.
This game was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
It was nail-biting.
You had EQO,
It was heart-pounding.
EQO popping off. Carpe popping off.
Pine was popping off.
Pine was popping off, but it wasn't enough.
It was not enough.
Who else do you have popping off? You had a little Sato poppage. Saw a little flash of him.
Neptuno was popping.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much the whole team was popping on Philly. And then Pine was popping on New York. Sabiel B popped off for a bit on Hanzo, too, which was really cool to see.
But yeah, they were just out. Not London. God. New York just seemed outmatched in this game.
They seemed legitimately... Yeah. Philly was just the better team.
Mm-hmm.
Philly was just the better team. They played better on every map. I even think that on Lijiang, for the most part, Philly did better.
Yeah.
Like, when I was watching, I also had Jane's stream open because he was casting it, so it's like a side-by-side thing. And he was talking. He was like, Philly's worst map on Lijiang was the one that they won. But the other two, they did better than New York. Yet New York somehow just got it at the end.
Yeah.
And Hanamura was just Like London's never, or geez, now I'm calling them London. You
I know.
trash. New York has never lost Hanamura,
Yeah. It was
uh,
just
and they've lost Kings Row once. So getting 3-0'd on Kings Row, that hurts. Philly crushed Kings Row. I'm pretty sure
yeah.
Monty said that it was a Kings Row record with how fast Philly got it.
I think they said it might have been a record, but like
Not confirmed, but pretty sure that
yeah.
Philly beat the record for fastest cap, and then they full held New York. That must have crushed them. And then they couldn't even have a halftime break for that. Then they were right into the next game. Luckily, they got it. But Dorado was the map of the game.
Yeah.
That was such a good map.
I got chills at the end of that because I was like, "Oh my god!" Even though I knew what was gonna happen.
It was so crazy, so insane the whole time.
For the record, I was watching the VODs. I wasn't.
You didn't watch
like
live.
a sidekick. I'm not a sidekick.
Yeah, I watched live, and B.O. boy.
Your mama thought you were real excited.
Here's the thing. Going into it, I wanted New York to win so that they could play a third game. But just in general, I wanted Philly to win because they're technically the underdog team. But as soon as New York started to look bad, I was like, man, I really want New York to win because I love all the New York guys too. Like, they're all solid dudes.
I don't think there's a team that I don't like.
The players of?
In the league.
Yeah.
I don't love Florida, but I think it's a combination of their jerseys and the fact that
I just don't know them very well.
Yeah, I don't know them very well.
They don't.
Also, the jerseys.
The jerseys so bad. But like
look like Ronald McDonald.
New York and London just have such nice boys on them. But we're talking about New York right now. So, New York is they're nice guys so much so that like halfway through the
You okay?
No, I'm crying. No, halfway through the match, I was like, okay, I'm switching to the New York side, and I was rooting for New York. So it was soul crushing when they like lost Dorado.
Yeah.
Speaking of soul crushing, here's a picture of Ark consoling. Oh, that's the wrong one. Ark consoling Sabielby after the match. I don't know how good Microsoft Translate is because it says.
I don't think it's very good.
This says, "How much you see in a star glow expression? I don't know if it's your first time." Sounds like a really bad lyric to a song that makes no sense.
Sounds like a Katy Perry song.
Sure. But anyway, Katy Perry. The point is, this picture is incredibly sad, but you see Ark. You can see that Ark is bummed too. Like, you can see that Ark's, like, I don't want to be, like, a freaking expression reader, but, like, the corners of his mouth are, like, hanging
Micro
down.
expressions.
He looks very bummed, but he's still being the team support and supporting his
support
BS.
In the game and out of the game. Saying, but yeah. I do feel bad for them, but I don't know. They didn't have any excuses to lose this badly, because they had a week to watch what Philly basically was going to do on every one of these maps, because Philly went to 3 games, I believe, so they played all these maps
and they had 2 weeks to practice like everybody else. Try strats, and
they also won 36 games or something. So
they have a significantly better record than Philly does.
I think it comes down to their coaching, just not preparing them well enough for these games.
Here's the thing. Wizard Hyung is a fantastic coach, incredible coach, but he just made, I don't know if it was his decision, but like sandbagging in stage 4, I don't think benefited them at all, because now they weren't used to the meta or playing well.
It's bad strategies starting in stage 4.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sad to see them lose, and I can only imagine how Nate Nanzer is his feeling when he organizes Barclays Arena thing in New York for the top winning team. And he's like, oh, I'll get New York to play in New York, and it's going to be great for the league. And now it's Philly and London.
Yeah. Now,
So,
I've got a video here of both Philly, a little bit of Philly, but mostly New York's reactions to losing. So let's just watch this real quick. Here, I'll maximize it. So look at them all happy. I'm very happy for Philly, but man, I feel so bad. Pine is just absolutely devastated. Mono, also rough. Ark just staring off into the distance. Jonak is the most composed, but he's just kind of staring at his screen. Doesn't really know what to do. Ark is the first to stand up and be like, all right, let's go do it, kids. Also, realizing this now, Ark doesn't... I assumed that picture from before was Ark going over and being like, hey, let's go, let's shake hands, or whatever. But Sabielby stood up here, so I'm assuming that's after. Like, Sabielby sits back down and Ark's like, hey, we gotta go backstage, or something.
boy.
But, yeah, man, that was just tough to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, I think it was Mecco with his head in his hands. I
Yeah.
don't think that was Mono. Anyway, it's just tough to watch, dude. And, like, Jonak and Ark exchange a glance as they're about to get up. And it's just very much like, how did this happen? Like, I guess it's done. I guess it's done.
Yeah. I guess we're done and
We're done.
for another 4 months, I guess.
Pine doesn't
When
get
does
up
the
for a
season
bit.
start?
I feel so... I think it starts, like, February or January.
Right.
But I felt so bad for Pine, especially, too, because he did really well. He did well every single map that he was on.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple times where it was like, why are you playing this player instead of playing Pine? Because Pine's doing really well. But, I don't know.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Maybe.
And people have been criticizing Pine's Zarya pick at the end there, but...
It was a desperate hour.
Yeah.
And Zarya was
and
their
if he
only
gets
hope.
that grav, like, the game would have been completely different.
Yeah.
So.
And, fun fact, that was a GOATS strat from Contenders Trials, where I think it's the triple tank, triple support.
Mm.
And
it just didn't work out for them.
No, it didn't work out for them at all. It was very much a desperation pick. I think it was Carpe said after the game, he said, we knew it was over as soon as Pine picked Zarya, because it showed that
they were desperate.
Yeah, that they were extremely desperate. And then XQC had a couple things to say, because a lot of people are making excuses for New York, being like, it's not their fault they lost, these reasons. And XQC had some stuff to say about that. He tweeted saying, the amount of excuses over and over again I see for why NYXL loses. Do you know how it feels to win and be discredited after beating a respectable opponent? Overwatch isn't that complicated. They got rolled. Handle it. Which I agree. Imagine working so hard, working so hard to beat
and playing the best game of your life.
Yeah, and beating the best team in the league, and people going, yeah, but like, it's not because they're good.
Like you didn't really beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he also tweeted saying, sandbagging, playing Minecraft instead of scrimming, the format isn't good, no extra week, bad meta for them, blah, 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 blah. What else? The wind was blowing in their face and the stage was colder on their side. Talk about how Team A won, not how Team B lost. Yeah. Which I've realized most people are being like, this is why New York lost. Or look at how, and we're even doing it now, look at how sad New York is, not instead of look at how happy Philly is.
Yeah.
Although, in the defense of people like focusing on New York, they're the best team in the league, and they didn't make it to playoffs, or they didn't make it to finals, when finals was purposely booked in their home city because it was assumed that they'd make it. So it's a big thing, but I understand that. And then I tweeted from our Broverwatch account, replying to his tweet here saying, exactly this. Does this look like they were sandbagging? And I posted a screenshot from the video we just watched of NYXL looking sad. Got 12 likes on that tweet.
Whoa!
And someone responded to it saying, I mean, Jonak looked happy, not saying they sandbagged. Jonak didn't look happy? What is this guy talking about? What is he talking about? And Surefor actually responded to XQC's tweet saying, easier to say something's bad than why something's good. Which is true, because you can just say, well, NYXL was bad because this. But it's harder to be like, actually, Philly was good because they made this and this and this decision. Because you actually need to know something to say that.
Yeah.
You don't need to know something to be like, NYXL played Minecraft. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I totally get what these guys are saying.
Right.
Getting so many Overwatch notifications right now. I didn't actually link it, but so I'm gonna find it again. But there was an interview after the game with NYXL, about the game, and someone from the audience asked, or someone from the press asked NYXL what their opinion on everybody like making the excuses, because another excuse was, if we go back to the brackets, another excuse was that since LA and New York weren't able to play in the, oh yeah, it's not up, there we go. Since New York and LA weren't able to play in the quarterfinals, they didn't get to play as much, so it was actually a disadvantage because they didn't get used to the meta, blah, blah, blah. So pretty much Philly was asked to respond to that and how they felt about that.
Hi, this is Emerald with...
Here's the clip. I'm going to lower the quality so I can actually play it here. We're just going to watch it in 480p.
Hi, this is Emerald with Blizzard. So both series in the first round went the distance, but the semifinals were pretty one-sided in favor of the teams that didn't have that extra week. So how much of a difference did the extra experience make in terms of finding the comfort level on stage and in the meta?
Nothing. Everyone thinks that playing first is an advantage, but we get to show our comps and they get to study us. Well, you know, we don't know anything about New York. The only reason we won today is because we played better. It's not because we played before, and I want everyone to understand that.
Hi, this is...
So there we go. That's the clip. And this clip is titled EQO Sounds Pissed, but everybody in the comments was like, no, he doesn't. He just he responded very reasonably and very calmly. But pretty much the gist of it is he says, everybody says that we won because New York didn't get to play the extra week, but we won because we were better. In fact, we won despite all the odds because New York was able to analyze our games and research our games, and we didn't know anything about them. And EQO even said after, I think, the first New York game, or no, Poco said after the first New York game, oh, we didn't really prepare for New York. Like, we mostly prepared...
For Valiant?
Or he didn't say we mostly prepared for, who'd they beat? Boston. But, like, he pretty much said they didn't really focus on New York because they don't know anything about New York, so they were like, let's just go out and play. So, there you go. They knew nothing. New York knew a lot. They still won.
The one thing that I want for next year is, like, when they expand all the teams out, make it so that there isn't a top seed bye. Because it's just kind of, like, I just want more series, you know? I'd rather have 4 series in the first round weekend than
Yeah.
2.
Although, I still think that pretty much no matter what the format was for the top 6, I think we would have the same result.
Oh, yeah. It's just from
It's
entertainment
just a
purposes
logistical,
for me.
yeah. just because you get to see more games. Yeah, and something about waiting. They also need to figure scheduling out because
waiting 2 weeks,
finishing stage 4, having hype for the Overwatch League, and being like, yes, can't wait for playoffs. Waiting 2 full weeks, no Overwatch League, for not even realizing playoffs are starting. Some people didn't even know playoffs started because they didn't advertise it at all.
Yeah.
Or hype it up. Also the Overwatch Twitter, the actual like @play Overwatch Twitter never tweets about Overwatch League. Like I think they tweeted when the season started, and that's it.
Yeah.
And people are kind of upset about
something
that. Yeah.
But I hope, like, they're only going to get better, hopefully.
Yeah.
So,
and something, I think it's just the way it worked out, too. The quarterfinals were more exciting than the semifinals, I think. Just because the quarterfinals were closer. The semifinals were very much like, look at these 2 teams you think are good get crushed. And it's like, it's entertaining to watch because it's like exhilarating, but like it's not very entertaining to watch because you're seeing people get rolled, you know?
Yeah, you're just seeing crushes.
Yeah.
So hopefully next week when we watch it together in your little basement.
Yeah. The fun
more exciting.
The fun thing about Philly versus London is, and let's double check this, but I'm pretty sure that London and Philly, their record against each other is 2-2. They've each won against each other once. Actually, I don't know how I'm going to check this.
You could just go back and the schedule.
Yeah, that's going to take
nice
way too long. That would have taken way too long. Anyway. The point is, they're quite evenly matched. So I think it's going to be a great match. Predictions?
Me too. London.
You think London's going to win? Do you want London to win, or do you think London's going to win?
I think London's going to win.
But who do you want to win?
I want Philly to win. London doesn't really deserve it. Neither does... Because London, like, sucked.
Yeah.
But it's a good story if they come back and win it after winning the first.
They're nice boys. I
That's
just keep saying that.
Reason for
I know.
liking
I
it.
love them so much, though. There's a video of Gesture like streaming, and then you see Prophet chasing, I think, Birdring with a giant yoga ball, and he's just chasing him, and he's about to throw it. I don't know. I love those boys, but I don't know.
Who do you think's gonna win?
I like them both. I want London to win slightly more than I want Philly to win. I think Philly will win. So we're opposites.
Ooh,
I want London to win, think Philly will win. You want Philly to win, think London will win. That's an interesting thing. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not at all what I said, but...
That is what you said. You said you want Philly to win, and you think London will.
Oh, yeah, I did.
That is what you said.
All right, bye.
You shilly goofter. Anyway, ladies... I hate myself. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Broverwatch podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. Leave in the comments who you think is going to win and who you want to win. And
your middle name.
Nope.
And your answer to your security questions.
Nope. Who you want to win, who you think will win, and who your favorite team for the season was. Because why not?
3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, no.